going through. What was one of you? I know that not everybody's here that was last week that told me, hey, can we go over this or that?
I just remember last week going over the 2-on-1.
The 2-on-1.
We went over, Roddy went over knife defense.
Yeah, that was right. Yeah, a little bit of that. And that was a little bit of 2-on-1 stuff.
A little bit of 2-on-1 stuff.
Yeah.
And then the ice cream grips.
Yeah, talking about ice cream cone. Yeah,
ice cream cone grips.
Yeah. All right. Let's try. That's actually not bad. Let's show this. Okay, guys, look. We last week was a 2-on-1 week, and remember, we take off the 2-on-1. We use our shoulder. Okay. I'm not using this hand that much. Sometimes when you do this, your arm will go over, and you'll make a mistake. Instead of being under, you'll go over, and you'll have the arm. This is possible, but the guy will usually twist his thumb and then pull his elbow in. No, you'll actually go behind me. You'll pull your elbow in, pull your arm, and then you'll get behind me. So we don't want that. So remember, this hand needs to be under. So just drop your arm and use your shoulder. Use your shoulder to pop it off and then come up into the Russian 2-on-1. Sometimes I'm gonna say 2-on-1. Sometimes I'm gonna say Russian or Russian 2-on-1. Same thing, okay? I'm at the wrist right here. I get a good grip on the wrist. See how I'm like twisting his arm? And then again, if you guys wanna connect to the key lock, you can do that version, or you can hold up here. Now, I'm gonna go over this idea. Ice cream cone. This is the ice cream. When you hold the ice cream, you hold it where the ice cream is, your thumb is pointing towards the ice cream. If you hold an ice cream cone like this, where your thumb points the other direction, the ice cream falls on the ground. This is kind of the way that my coach actually talked about it so that we could visualize in our minds how to hold a wrist. This wrist grab is the regular wrist grab. I call this the reverse or ice cream cone grip. What's funny about it, this one looks weird, this one looks normal. So if his hand is low, you grab it normal. That you just grab it the regular. It takes training to grab something like this. You have to practice. Most people will naturally grab a wrist like this if it's low. But what's funny about that is if he picks his hands up, I naturally grab his wrists like this. And now look, I actually have the ice cream cone grip. If I turn it down, now you see how it looks different. Okay? I'm like, oh, I should grab it like this now. If his hands are up, I never grab his wrist like this, which would be the regular wrist grab. See that? If his hands are in the up position, nobody's gonna go like this. Okay? This is really awkward. You would just simply elbows in, grab. Okay? Just like this. Now, story time. When I was learning this, again, in wrestling, we do this all the time, and we teach both. Okay? Is there any way we could get that, turn that off? Like, who is that? Is that John? John with the vacuum. No, it's okay. Let him do his thing. All right, so. We'll cut that. It's all right, don't say anything. Just let him do his shit. It's all right, it's okay.
There's not a leaf left for a mile. I blew it off. Yeah, it's clear.
It is funny though, right? Like, I know John's like, fuck man, I'm doing my job, man. What are you complaining about? All right, so. All right, so story time. When I was learning about this stuff, regular wrist grab, reverse wrist grab, when it's low, you can do either. But I want to just talk about a little bit, my hand is on the inside of his arm. You see that? His break is to go outward to break. That allows me to get an entry into his body, underhooks, single leg, grabbing his body. If I grab it regular, he's actually on the inside and his break is this way. So you could say that that's a good thing for me. But if you notice, I can't exactly go for your body right now. So when I'm here, if I try to grab you, you have an underhook on me. You can fend me off. See that? But the cool thing about this His escape is this way, which feeds into arm drags. See that? So I can drag and get to around the corner. This one, I can do arm drags as well, but this one, his braking is to go out, which allows me to get to his body. So they have pros and cons to each. Regular, reverse. And when I say ice cream cone, I mean reverse. See, sometimes I'll hold it up and then you can see it, okay? Now, when I was learning about this, here's the story. We were in Malibu and we were training actually down in, it was actually Santos Flanagan's. He's a Gokor black belt and longtime judo guy. And this has got to be like in the 90s. And we were actually, after our training session, we went to a little spot in Malibu along the beach. We're eating lunch, and then a fight broke out. We're up on these bar stools on the little small circular tables with umbrellas, and there was another party next to us. And somehow these other two parties, there's two young dudes, kind of like, rocked out, muscle beach, tank top, and they got in an argument with somebody else at another table, and there was an old man. He had to be like late 60s, and he wasn't super big. He was just an old skinny gentleman. And when the other guy, the fight started to break out, and so yoked out dude puts his hands up, and old man just steps right in because he knew a fight was about to happen between these two. So he like, go ahead and put your hands up, say you're looking here. And he just went up and went like, hey, listen, we're not gonna fight today. Stop this, you're not gonna do anything. And the other guy, like, tried to punch me or move. And this is a young guy, and the old man was just doing this. He was not doing that though. He tried a little bit. Here, you do it to me. He was like, so he was, he tried a little bit and he couldn't. The old man just put the clamp on, bam! And my coach, after it was all over, it ended pretty quick. No punches were really even thrown. There might have been obviously there was a break eventually. They're not still there in Malibu right now. But after it was over, my coach was like, ice cream cone grip, ice cream, did you see it? So we were all laughing about how the older gentleman had full control of the guy because he had the wrist grab. If he was to grab the guy's hands like this, just break out. See how like you put your hands up? So you grab my wrist. And the guy's just gonna be like, and then boom, he's gonna hit you. But because the other guy was untrained and he had his hands up like this and he grabbed, he didn't know that he needed to break out like this. It took a long time for him to figure it out because everything he did was like this. And if you just push and walk towards me, he was like stunned. Do you see what I mean? Like the control you have? And he pushed his own hands into him and he did not know what to do. Again, if he was a trained individual, it would have been different. However, an untrained person was literally nullified by a simple ice cream cone grip on both wrists. Pretty amazing. So I just want to tell that story so that you remember these grips. When we do a Russian 2-on-1, we're gripping with ice cream cone. Look at my elbow in. Try to break this wrist grab. See the control? Now look at this. Break that wrist grab. See that? And then he's backing on an underhook. So just learning this. Now, is it always better to hold like that? No, it's not. It's just different. So when you guys go out and practice, thumb, turn the shoulder, make a good grip right here. See the thumb and the middle finger, try to connect near the wrist, not up here. I'm always using my thumb. If I can twist it down, that'd be great. So when the guy's trying to move now, try to get your arm back. You can use your other hand too. See that? Even if he ever breaks my grip, I've still got this. Keep going. Now I'm back on it. And then what do we want to do, guys? If we want to connect, here. Now the guy's trying to get away. Control him right here. Real simple, just controlling the 2-on-1 like this. Not letting the guy get away. I'm pushing it in towards him or down. And try to use your other hand to break out. See how tough that is? That's tough, isn't it?
It's tough.
Okay.
All
right.
Even a 69-year-old.
So I want you guys, you're gonna get late 60s right there. Just grab on, lock on. Let's see what you can do. All right, grab each other. 1, 2, 3. Even if you're not as strong as your opponent, even if you're older and they're younger, if you know how to grip, it's called technique. If you know how to grip properly, you can actually overpower someone in a sense. This other guy was young and athletic. He was like a 26-year-old, again, had the classic tank top with the muscles out, and still was easily controlled. And it was just one scenario. It doesn't mean it's gonna work every time, but it's one scenario. So, hope you guys enjoyed.